So, like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery Channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery Channel. The links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as that ID Go app. You might want to get those two things combined to make them into one. So, this video as a whole speaks on the deaths which have occurred on social media as a whole and not just Facebook Live, despite the title being what it is. The first victim I'm going to discuss involved a teen who was killed for all to see, and the platform chosen was Snapchat. Snapchat. What is going on in this day and age with social media and the killings and all the rest? On video and no one say helping or responding. They're just sitting back recording. What is the point in that? The lack of care and the lack of trust and showing, right? So when it comes to the deaths, I'm going to question what could be some preventive measures which makes the teens get involved. What could be some things done which could in fact get the teens involved in place of just say standing there watching someone die? Because that shows it almost seems like an evil intention. If I'm recording somebody say get in a fight and then lay in their death, in a sense, blood is everywhere and they're laying there and I'm just standing there record, it almost shows like a vindictiveness or evil intention or something, despite the people standing there might not really be thinking that, but that's how it comes across, especially once it hits the TV screen, CNN News and all the rest. Once it comes out what has played out, people will begin to question the mindsets of the viewers sitting there, right? So I'm going to once again question preventive measures, which yeah, when it comes to the teens getting involved and maybe something being done harsher by police or whatnot, right? But yes, Kashin, that's the individual up above, right? Kashin, 16 years old. The location where all occurred was in fact New York. This almost sounds like that other video that I made about the individual that was stabbed. And then the wanted was in fact wanted, right? New York as well. So Kashin Morris was stabbed to death in a parking lot of a strip mall on September 16th, 2019. About 15 teens were sitting nearby a Chinese restaurant as 7 or 8 of the teens started to go after individuals they intended to fight. 15 teens. Let me read that again. 15 teens were sitting nearby a Chinese restaurant as 7 or 8 of the teens started to go after individuals they intended to fight. Kashin Morris, once again up above, was then attacked by 8 of the assailants as over 50 teens stood and watched. Did you get that? 50 teens stood and watched as all 50 teens recorded his death, to be seen on both Snapchat and other social media platforms. 50 teens. That's a lot. 50 teens and not one teen got involved. Not one individual got involved in the situation. 50 who? Consider 50 people, even 3 or 4 people. Let's say 5 or 6 people is enough. If I'm outside, even 10 people is enough. But to have 50 people is to say something is in fact wrong with the mindset, to be standing there and this teen is laying there dying and nobody does nothing. 50 people. The teen stood doing nothing as they again watched the victimized teen fall and struggle to breathe. On the video footage, the dying teen could be seen in very bad pain. Observers called no one because them recording him is why. They were so caught up in the recording process on their phones that they can put it so that those individuals could in fact put it on their Snapchat and all the rest, other social media channels, right? that was more important than recording him dying, was more important and valuable to them than helping to save his life. I'm thinking someone out of 50 people, someone could have easily offered a hand, but it showed nobody cared. And as time go on, I'm gonna repeat this later on in the video, as time go on, it's gonna get worse, right? Because that's how it is. The more people on social media, as the years go on, people use things in ways that are disastrous to other people, which leave grieving family members behind. That in fact think about that. If that was your loved one, if your kid died the way that he did, remember he was only 16 years old, and you lay awake at night knowing your child is dead and gone while everybody else is possibly asleep, or all the rest are out enjoying themselves on vacation having fun, and yet they left your son lifeless. Now he's no longer here and you're left to grieve, asking, well, God, why? Because that's going to be the question amongst families, yes, of kids that have died or got killed right in front of people. The suspects was said not to be gang members, but are being charged by Nassau police. They're being charged with gang assault because each person was involved in the attack which took Kashin's life. Because that's the most stupidest thing. That's a harsh reality. It's a cold reality with that, right? I'm standing there. That don't even sound right. Like the logic and the mindsets of today teens completely has changed. I don't know if it's the drug. I was gonna say designer drugs. Not that. I don't know what it is. With the mindsets of the average individuals today, it's like it's almost no logic or something. Because think about that don't make sense. If I see somebody being killed in front of me, but just the fighting aspect, and I see somebody pull out a knife or something like that and goes to stab a person, that's gonna freak me out enough to want to call somebody. Because remember that there's bells and whistles and alarms that go off in our head that something is wrong, right? When something takes place, something is wrong. I need to do something. Nobody in their right, that's amazing in itself. Nobody in their right mind is just going to stand there and watch somebody lay breathing after they've been stabbed and not doing anything. Because even intuition points in with that something is wrong, right? I need to take care of this matter right here before this kid die. He's my age, right? That just, see, back in our time, in our day, if something like that happened, you kind of did freak out, or somebody ran and called. Remember, we didn't have cell phones all like that. Some did, right? But still, something about the response is off. So 7 people were involved in the attack on Kashin. Kashin died so young. There were 2 individuals, but they didn't die. They in fact survived, but they were just beaten. They were beat down kind of like him, but they weren't stabbed in the manner Kashin was. The suspects by name include Javante Niels, age 18, Sean Merritt, age 17, Marquise Stevens Jr., age 18, Hakeem Meccan, age 18, and 2 unnamed guilty parties were also involved. They should be outed, because to commit crimes like that, see, there's the age cover up. Not the age cover up, there's the identity cover up because of the age, right? And yet to commit crimes in the way that these young people is doing is to say out them. They need to be outed just like grown adults. To commit a grown adult crime, right? To do that sort of thing is to be outed just like a grown man would, as it should be. So Tyle Flatch, of 18 years old, Tyle, he's the one who stabbed Kashin. He stabbed Kashin. He was taken into custody and held without bail. He pleaded not guilty. once again, grand jury decides on what's to happen and for what reason with him. These people, yeah, cause see, I don't like stuff like that. When it came to Jolie Musa, the missing teen that I did the video on last year, right? When they tried police, when it came to hiding the identity, I'm thinking to myself, to do crime once again like an adult figure is to, yes, take the blow like an adult figure. Who doesn't know that? And murder and beatings and all the rest, right? You're acting like a full-grown adult. Young children usually don't beat on somebody till they're half dead, right? That's an adult action. So to be able to do that is in fact face your identity being exposed. That's what needs to change in the laws, because see, there's a protection too much of these kids, which is how they in fact go out into the streets and repeat the same actions. When you hear certain crimes that take place and you wonder, well, such and such is in trouble again, right? But by then they're grown, right? So now you know their identity. It shouldn't have to go that far. You should be exposed to identity right then. The public should be, because see, to not be in depth and thorough with these teens or kids or whatever, teens, let's call it for what it is, teens, not kids. To be real in depth with that, in depth, is to say that if you don't expose the identity, once again, is why they keep committing crimes, because the harsh sentence is not there, even in showing their face and their name. They do stuff like that as well to protect them from being killed by grown people, like by older men who will want somebody dead for committing such crimes. There's people out here that hate and get livid at those type of individuals that will go kill them, as in put their hands on them because they didn't like it. Because even grown men are known to do that sort of thing in jail, which is how people have been known to get killed behind bars and all the rest. But I'm saying out on the streets, these people need to be outed. It's sad and sick, right? So similar situations such as examples which have taken place. This points in with Facebook Live. I'm sure many of you individuals, dear viewer, let me know what you feel about the video. As in these killings and these shootings and these murders that's happening on social media, places like Facebook Live more than anything. Because see, these days people do all type of things for fame, and it's not that serious, right? Because many of them lack a lot of things, as in they need to work on self-esteem and not be trying to become famous for shooting and killing people and making the victims famous. There was a video of an individual, of a man that shot his girlfriend, let her know he's going to make her famous. That's what he said. He was going to make her famous, and shot and killed her. You're going to make her famous in death? That had more to do with himself, I'm thinking. Because a shoot and kill somebody, but before you do it, your girlfriend, and tell her, I'm going to make you famous, is to say, well, she can't be in fame and death. Fame points more towards him. I'm able to see right through, and I was even then, right? So similar situations such as examples. Steve Stevens killed a 74-year-old on Facebook Live. Remember that old man? You guys remember the 74-year-old black male? He was 74 years old that got killed by another black man. Steve Stevens was in fact the assailant, right? Murder, right? That killed that 74-year-old man. That man was walking around with cans. 10 cans gonna make change. You know how people with bad cans and all the rest. Walking down the street minding his own business, but because Steve Stevens couldn't take the heartbreak of his ex-lover or whatever, he kills this old man out in public. And while he did it on Facebook Live, he named his ex-girlfriend or whoever she was, right? He named her identity on the camera and told that old man she was the reason for that old man, yes, to die. He told that old man to his face why he was killing him was because of her. That's sad in itself. As in stupid. It's cowardly, right? So who does that stands in a set? That man was minding his own business. And what's interesting more than anything, his kids, the elderly man, that 74-year-old man, his daughters, in fact, for yes, offer forgiveness to Steve Stevens. And in the end, Steve Stevens couldn't even face his own self, so he committed suicide in the end. Yes. Just off the hook. It's off the chain. He could have picked somebody, anybody. Himself more than anybody, right? Instead of taking that old man's life. That old man was putting up his hand and yelling and all the rest because trying to protect himself. That don't make sense. So a Thai man killed his baby and then killed himself on Facebook Live. He tied a rope around the baby's neck and then dropped the baby from a building. He killed his baby and then killed himself on Facebook Live. He tied a rope around the baby's neck and then dropped the baby from a building. You know how that goes, a hanging of the baby, right? Kind of like an adult suicide, and yet it's a baby. Let me see another example. A gang rape in Chicago occurred out in the public as dozens of people watched. And the gang rape too was displayed on Facebook Live as a 15-year-old was the victim. And no one called police and no one intervened. Who sits and watches a rape? It's just something wrong with people's mindsets. Like they're off or something. I don't know. Because to sit and watch somebody be killed, to sit and watch, because see, you're watching some girl or whatever be penetrated. That's to say that the gang rape is happening and the pants is down, right? It makes you question, well, are the individuals are in shock? Maybe that could be the thing. They're in shock because to not have seen that before take place, right? But it's not an exhibit. You're not at a damn museum somewhere watching that sort of thing take place on display or something, right? Which is odd to me because I'm an odd individual, and yet even that don't make sense, right? Once again, buzzers and whistles and alarms will go off in the head, telling you while you're watching somebody be gang raped that something is not right with this. I need to either leave the premises, get out of the situation, or call somebody. But it shows that followers, like the mob mentality, how people go along with what everybody else does, they don't think for themselves. That's why I don't hang around with majority of people like that. Because see, to follow along and just watch that shows some sickness in mind. It shows something, right? You're standing there watching something and yet you're not helping, right? That's a problem. I'm saying it's weird, it's strange to me for it to be in groups. You see what I'm saying? That follower mindset, I'm gonna stand back and watch a gang rape take place. Remember, the grown men or even teens, their pants is pulled down, right? And yet we're out in public. Usually at our age, being younger, I'm the type of person I really didn't care about a lot of whole things, but I never liked stuff being done wrong in front of me, such as the innocence of somebody taken as enforced upon them, right? But even back in my younger days, where if something was happening, it just, I don't know. I'm just not about to stand there. Somebody might in fact get cussed out by me watching that. I just don't. So in Sweden, back in January 2017, a situation took place. Once again, location Sweden. A situation took place like the previous one I just named, a gang rape. And once again, no one called police. No one contacted anyone. Remember, you're outside. Is that or is that not stupid? I'm standing outside, right? Usually people possibly wouldn't call police if there's a house party or something, because remember, you're indoors watching a gang rape and not outdoors. But to be outdoors is to say, well, something is wrong. So another situation, a special needs student was beaten to death and tortured live. Yes, on Facebook Live. A special needs student beaten to death and tortured on Facebook Live. So I could go on and on because there's all type of similar situations, yet not enough time. And once again, all is going to worsen, and I said that in the beginning of the video, because as more individuals, even the younger generation, continue to use platforms such as Facebook and Facebook Live and Snapchat, right? It's to say even they will start to do crazy sporadic things and not help other people, right? Uh Technology can't really be blamed. Remember, that's our future. The intention, when you create platforms and all the rest, you can only put so much security on it, but everybody's responsible. There's a self responsibility. We're all responsible for our own actions. Everybody in the realm and business and all the rest should not be blamed for other people's actions, because see, other people mess it up for other people. That's how things end up destroyed in the process. I can't blame Facebook. I can't blame technology and everybody else, Snapchat. I can't blame any of those. Yes, for the deaths of, say, individuals, say like Akashin and all the rest, because remember, that was used, as in that came later. Let me put this, Facebook Live, that was in fact used, right? I'm going to take this and I'm going to record the video. Just like I'm going to take, and that's in fact a tool. Facebook is a tool not to be used for killing purposes. Facebook Live and Snapchat is a tool to help advance us further. That sort of thing was invented and created for the value of relationships, such as building relationships, not destroying relationships, as well as helping you to advance for career purposes. That's what it's in fact created for. Even when Facebook was first created, and it was college students using Facebook, and then more and more people got on the platform and started to use it for various things, right? Other than what it was intended for, which is why Facebook is now in the crap hole that it is, right? It's not the creators of Facebook that should be held liable. No, it's the individuals who use stuff. So, lack of self-worth and lack of self-value, as lack in values, is to blame, because self-accountability is everything. These is individuals and all the rest, right? They need to be held accountable and not just blaming, oh, let's just blame all the technology. No, you don't blame all the technology, because even technology points in with your job, and once your job gets removed, you're going to be whining about that. No, you blame all the right people, the people that's committing stuff to kill people, right? Or standing there watching and all the rest, right? You got to hold people liable. Yes, that need to be held liable. Because see, even if Facebook wasn't there, social media wasn't there, these type of individuals might, in fact, instead of them recording, might have just stood there anyway. Because I remember even back in the day, even years, even before technology progressed as much as it has, there has been individuals that have sat and watched people get killed and say died, and nobody intervened, as in nobody did anything. And no cell phone was there in the involvement. You see what I'm saying? Some people just stand back and watch and see stuff take place, and they don't get involved and say anything or do anything. That's before technology even advanced. It shows the mindset. Those type of people have a follower mindset, the sheep mindset, which I don't get involved with those type of people, because to stand too close to them is to let even me die. Let even you die. Their viewers, they would. Because they don't want to stand out in the crowd and say, let me help. Let me give a helping hand. They feel like, whatever, well, such and such is not helping, so I'm not going to help. Nope, you don't want to keep company with those type of people. So social media is full of attention-starved people, and those are not only the types who commit crimes for fame, but to fail to put down their camera phones to help dying victims. It's a lot of attention-starved people out here. I'm the type of person, I can sit by myself all day long and not ever be bothered and let that be that. It just is what it is. Everybody's mindset is different, right? Some people flock with crowds. I never could understand that. I never understood that. Why would I need to be a part? Because to be a force to be reckoned with is a stand alone. All time of the day, some time of the day, right? Even that's needed, taking a breath away from others, because even they can be a hassle, getting on your nerves, and right. But yeah, that I don't like stuff like that. So everybody wants to be seen and liked, yet not everyone has things of value to offer and gaining attention, which is why no one calls police or intervenes to help victims. Did you get that? I'm gonna repeat that. Dear viewers, let me know what you feel about the video. Comment in the comment section. Let me know what you feel about what I'm about to say again. Everybody wants to be seen and liked, because even you yourself is more likely questioning, why is this happening, right? I said there are in fact attention-starved individuals that feel that they need to keep company with the majority, and yet they don't help other people, right? That's sad in itself, because if it was their family. Once again, let me know what you think about this comment. Everybody wants to be seen and liked, yet not everyone has things of value to offer in gaining attention, which is why no one calls police or no one intervenes to help victims. Does that make sense? That's just my common sense comment to all this that's happening, the Facebook lives and everything. Facebook Live and Snapchat, that's just what I feel. That these people don't have anything of value to offer. So what they do is, and they want to be liked. They have nothing of value to offer and they want to be liked, right? They want to fit in with the majority. That's never been my mindset. I don't like stuff like that. It shows a loser mindset, right? Because to do what everybody else is doing is to say, I don't have my own identity. And so, not having my own identity is why I have nothing of value to offer other people. See, people that have self-worth and self-value that can stand by themselves, like me and all the rest, right? Even that point, it's all to be a person full of self-worth and self-value and not need to keep company is to say you're going to think for yourself. You're going to stand out. A person that stands out and able to be by themselves, like me and probably many of you dear viewers out there, you're going to have something more of value to offer, because remember, you're different. So you see the world different and you don't see the world like the majority, right? So you would never need any type of video of standing there recording somebody die with other people, I'm saying, out in public and not doing anything. But people that don't think for themselves and they follow the crowd and all the rest, they become like everybody else, which is where self-value is lost as well as self-worth is lost. And that gets to a point where you no longer have anything to offer. So what you do is you go out here and you record people and put it on Snapchat or Facebook Live so that you can have something of value to offer to other people. And yet, once again, it's not your life, right? Standing back watching killing happen right in front of you and not helping. That boosts the self-confidence and the self-value of the persons or individuals that sit back and do that sort of thing. They get some kind of confidence boost and all the rest, right? And yet, once again, they're not helping these dying victims. So to them, that's in fact value, but to me, it's not. It's stupidity, right? Everyone's held for their they should be taking responsibility. There's no blaming Snapchat either. I said that already. See, because social media, that's all, is all for valuable experiences. Anything created is not created for the negative intention. Does that or does that not make sense, dear viewers? Leave a comment in the comment section. We need to stop blaming other, with that. Because see, if everything was taken away based upon the negative usage, right, we will be without nothing. We will completely be without. Not be without nothing, but we will be without, because everybody messing up things for others, right? Enjoyable experiences count for something. No common sense exists in 2019. The dumbed down culture is very real. I'm able to see that dumbed down culture, which could be why I like to sit by myself a lot, because I don't like that getting on me. And like some people say, spirits jump off on you. I wouldn't even know, right? But I don't need no dumbed down whatever jumping on me, right? No, I'll pass. Dumbed down brain cells, standing back watching with a camera phone, all of that type of stuff, right? That's our dumb down mentality, right? Because see, some people uh have bells and whistles so loud and intuition that even their intuition will tell them to get involved and help whoever because they don't want to get in trouble, which could be why some of these people are not helping. Maybe they think, well, if I get involved I might get in trouble, and yet that's reversed in itself, right? Because even some people's bells and whistles might be fearful. I don't want to get involved with that, right? Well, you should. There's just lack of self-value. There's no self-esteem amongst these people that's sitting here recording and putting it on social media. So preventive measures. What are some things police can do to make people get more involved in helping victims in place of just recording? Number one, I think those who fail to cooperate should be jailed is one. These people, see, police, they need to up their game and their strategy. The whole law should be reset. When it pertains to social media and all the rest, right? Facebook Live usage, Snapchat and all the rest, right? Instagram and all the rest, people doing things. A lot of this stuff is taking place on Facebook Live, which is interesting. Facebook Live, right? I'm saying the mindsets that it's like Facebook Live is like a dumping ground. It's like Facebook as a whole is a dumping ground. It has almost become a trash bin. Because I'm thinking videos like that, seeming it is in video, will be more on YouTube. But because it's not, it's to show that people are following other people into that. To have more people uploading videos of shootings and killings live taking place on Facebook Live, and it's not happening all on YouTube, all like that at the percentage rate as it is with Facebook, as in they're similar in the killings and all the rest and the watching and all that. It's to say more of that should in fact be on YouTube. That's to say that people are following the crowd, follower mindset. I don't like stuff like that. So number two, the victim's family, the preventive measures when it points in what police says and what should be done. People should be jailed, but more than anything, the victims' families should be able to press charges on the individuals who were at the scene filming but failed to intervene. Yes, individuals who stood around just filming, they should be legally charged by the family of the victims. Prosecutors point in with that, so that's to say more time. People that were just out sporadically, whatever, not giving a care, less filming all the rest, as in there should be some type of snitching process, as in the codes need to be changed on the end of police. The snitching, well, if you don't tell whoever did, you're gonna serve 10 years. You're gonna serve 5 or 6 years if people need to in fact be pulled to police departments and forced to tell, and if they don't tell whatever, then they're gonna serve 5 to 6 years. That should in fact be the new law and strategy of police, because what that will do is make a teen quickly blurt out who all was there. That makes everybody held liable for their actions of holding the phone, right? Police saying to these teens, well, if you don't come out and say I'm going to make you serve 5, 6 years. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you 2 years to serve because you won't open your mouth and tell me who all was there. As in the snitching process should begin. Let me know all the people. And all those people need to be dragged into the police department as well. And they are to be forced with the snitching. Okay, so 5, 6 of y'all don't tell, y'all gonna serve 2 to 5 years. That needs to be the new law, because I know that everything has progressed and changed, is to say you bring the law in with that. When things change and progress, slowly change, you bring more into it. The law, as in update the status and all the rest, right? That's just the way life goes in the end. To know that camera use, Facebook Live, and all the rest is to say these people's getting away with all this type of stuff. Let's go and change the laws on this pertaining to this phone and what all it could be used for and what can't be used for, and that will fix that. Police making these teens snitch, and if they don't tell, they're gonna be forced to serve 2 years. Because a sit 2 years behind bars is to think about, well, damn, I served time in jail. If it's a majority of people that start going to jail for that type of camera recording, not intervene, serving 2 to 5 years, they're going to sit behind bars and think about their actions. I might not want to repeat that, as in I'm in jail serving stupid time for stupid action. I could next time call 911, right? Maybe that needs to happen. I feel also places of business should be forced to have 4-dimensional cameras. It's not really 4-dimensional. I just said 4-dimensional because to place cameras on all sides of a building is to know that a building in fact holds 4 sides, right? I'm saying like at each corner, the angles, right? Surveillance cameras would be good for buildings, knowing that this happened outside of a Chinese restaurant, right? Being able to record in the distance is to be able to pick up on surveillance who all was there, even if it's to a percentage, right? That's why I said all businesses should be forced to have the cameras mounted on each side, front and back, side to side, right? Cameras, surveillance, business establishments, and that would help to catch such acts as in who was filming, as in catching the identities of people that were in fact standing there filming. Those people will be picked up on surveillance, and they should be charged with that, right? That would help the business as well, because to know that people break into business, maybe that need to happen. To know that people break into business establishments is to say that cameras should be there anyway on all 4 sides of the building to prevent that, and that will help police in detecting who's filming what and not getting involved and intervening, helping dying people. So let me see. That will help with the snitching process as well. Number 3, there should be tracking devices within all phones outside of what is already there in all phones. Because see, phones track us anyway. We go to restaurants, it picks up data, information, all the rest, and then it recommends to you what you should buy after, right? But there should be more to that. A legal law change. Because see, to know that society, everybody is taking on the sheep mindset, follower mindset, it's to say the law should be changed in that, as in us all being tracked, as in needed to be through phone. As in our phone should just be nothing more than a tracking device. And what I mean is to place more tracking within cell phones, our phones, that in fact preys on privacy. It does. It takes away privacy. And yet to know that people is innocent, people are killing us, to say I'm even more than likely willing to even allow my phone to be the tracking device, right? And all the rest. You should, because I wouldn't want my niece or nephew killed like that. Yes, and all the rest. Or somebody else's kid and I'm standing there. That should in fact be tracked, right? Your identity. So once again, there should be tracking devices within all phones to identify who is or who was at different scenes or environments as they take place, despite privacy, right? Laws could be changed for even that. And all should be linked to FBI. We should be tracked by FBI all 24 hours a day. That's how it happened. Because if it's one of your loved ones that die like this, is to say. Tracking devices linked to FBI. All the tracking devices I'm speaking on placed within the phone points in like GPS navigation, but it's much more in depth. It will be better because it will tell each person's phone, once again, it will tell you where they were. Scene, environment, crime, scene, environment, right? It will tell you the data such as the time that they were there, as in when they entered and when they left the premises. A phone holding tracking on all of us pointing in with FBI, as in all being recorded. And those involved would never be able to say, people that would have this, all of us on our phone, we wouldn't be able to deactivate it, the tracking system in the phone, because to try to deactivate it would lead to deactivating the phone. The phone would no longer be useful in trying to deactivate it. I think that needs to be built in all phones. Some people don't agree with it, and yet if your family or whoever, yes, I won't want anybody standing watching my niece get killed or something. That's stupid, right? I would want to know who was there and why. Even if police didn't tell me and it came out later, right? And say it was tracked through FBI, through a tracking through the phone. And even if FBI withholds the information, right, of who was there, the date and time and all that should be recorded in the format. Needed are more tracking devices placed within phones, because that would help completely identify who was doing what. And not only that, that would stop more than anything. That would stop this Facebook live recording and all the rest. It will put an end to that, because nobody is going to want to knowing that, well, my phone has a tracking. As in, it should be something built within these camera phones that once they start recording these fightings and stuff, all the rest is going to automatically be picked up and recorded over to FBI. As in, through a system. That's what I'm saying. To pick up a phone and see a fight and you're recording this to say that could be picked up. Remember, there's movement in that. The tracking of movement of a camera recording a fighting scene in front of the camera. Stuff like that should be hardwired, built in phones, and it should automatically be tracked right live over to FBI. Right then, as soon as a person turn the camera phone on and that camera lens pick up that movement of that fighting, sensor and all, just like a self-moving car. Self-moving cars have various, Tesla and all the rest has the sensors on it, and they got cameras all around the car, right? That's how a car is able to drive itself. I'm saying, as in staying in lanes and moving and all the rest. The cameras help with that. So with our phones, there should in fact be the same thing. The tracking device, as well as it picking up movement of fights or shootings and killings and all the rest right there as it's taking place. As in, the lens will pick it up, that movement, and it will just be picked up and, yes, recording, as in the FBI will be watching it all right in real time. Anybody want to design that? That's state of the art, staying ahead of time. Well, if I can design a camera phone like that where the fighting is being picked up, FBI is watching just as much as I'm recording it. And not only that, FBI has my name, date of birth, and all the rest of that in a tracking system as I'm recording it, as my hand is holding this phone. That will end all of that. Nobody would want to sit and record anything, because to know that you're being tracked by FBI in real time, FBI seeing what you're seeing, is to say people would not want to record at all. They will be so terrified and livid to have tracking in their phone that will stop everything. Society will go back to like how it was before, as in it needs to. So, and privacy would in fact be lost in what I said. Having that camera pick up and track the phone, FBI watching that fight scene go down, because even that will have police show up right on the scene where even people don't need the help, because police, yes, all that will be on alert, as in it will all be connected together. To tie the dots in is to say, to have a tracking system and FBI sit back and watch that fight is to know police is going to show up. No kids who can't think for themselves, they wouldn't need to intervene to save anybody, because police will show up right away. So the privacy being lost, as what I said, there needed to be tracking. People that film and stand and film dying people don't need privacy, as in their privacy should in fact be taken away, because remember, they invaded on somebody else's privacy space. To sit and watch an individual be beaten and then stabbed to death, or sit and watch somebody be shot and killed to death, on some Facebook Live or Snapchat is to say your identity invaded that privacy space of the crime that was taking place. So you in fact don't need privacy at all. Your privacy should in fact be taken from you. To encounter a dispute that has nothing to do with you is to say you stepped on private property, and yet it's not, right? Because that was open space, and yet you were an individual minding your own business, whatever you chose, yes, to get in on a private affair between different individuals that had nothing to do with you. That's a private affair involving a fight between different individuals that has nothing to do with you, right? Standing there recording. So seeming privacy was taken away from not only the victim, but those that the assailants that fought and killed him. That was their privacy. Then those individuals that filmed, their privacy should be taken away as well. That's a cause and effect. What goes around comes back around. Building tracking devices, which adds in with FBI tracking on all cell phones. That will end everything. My mind is way ahead of time. It just is. Because that even built-in phones like that will be in memory of victims who have died. That shouldn't have died in the way that they died, right? That's just, people like me think that far. It's called being proactive in life. Caring about the thoughts, feelings, and all the rest of people who have died, and creating something in their memory. Because their family members are left behind with even that. Does that make sense? It helps to be thoughtful of people when they die, when they lose their life to senseless, stupid stuff, and yet things have to be changed with that. So we are on investigation.com. Not investigation.com. Where's my mind? We are in fact on investigation.com, on investigationdiscovery.com. I'm sorry, I'm clunking out because I've been on here for about 50 minutes. That's how it happens. We're on investigationdiscovery.com. The ID logo sits at the far left corner right here, right? Watch now. You can in fact watch now. Just add it. Let me move that over so I can see. Just add it. This is locked. I'm gonna go into that in a bit. Unlocked episodes. To receive an audio visual preview is to click the play button, and you would in fact receive that. Unlocked series. Recommended for you. Shouts out to Lieutenant Joe Kenda as well as Paula, right? ID Go original series. Some things are in fact missing. Sometimes that happens because to get the change and updating things is in fact how it happens, right? So crime feed. To gain access to the crime feed, you would click right within here. You would in fact be directed to the outside crimefeed.com. The crime feed, full of latest, greatest murder and mayhem. You would click right within here. Didn't I say that already? I have to repeat 2 times. And you would be directed to the outside to crimefeed.com. To receive a newsletter is to type your email address in and click next. And you would in fact receive a newsletter from Investigation Discovery. That's how it happens. So let me know in the comments section what you think and feel about this video. Also, to gain access with this, because everything else has disappeared like a ghost, right? Could be a ghost standing behind me, who knows, right? To gain access is to in fact click here, sign in. You're gonna provide who you're subscribed with, right? And that's how you're gonna gain access to that, which is why it's padlocked, because it's all exclusive. But once again, let me know what you think and feel about the video. Let me know what you think about these killings on Facebook Live and Snapchat, it all being recorded. But more than anything, what do you think about people not getting involved as in intervene? So enjoy your day. I will in fact enjoy mine. Stay tuned.